In a single client engagement, we recovered over 1,000 hours per year by automating one process. Not some massive digital AI transformation, not a six-figure overhaul, one process done right. And that's the thing most people get wrong about AI automation. They think they need to automate everything. They only need to automate the right things first. So today, I'm giving you the 3 processes that consistently deliver the fastest, most measurable ROI across the businesses I've worked with. These aren't theoretical, these come from real builds, real clients, and real numbers. I'm Amadou. I run an AI agency where we build custom automations for businesses. Everything I share here comes from actual implementations, not blog posts. Let's get into it. So we're going to start with document processing and analysis. I'm starting with this because it's the single highest ROI automation I've seen across every type of business, and it's also the most overlooked. If your business handles any kind of document volume, like contracts, invoices, proposals, intake forms, this is probably where your biggest time shrink is hiding. And I'll give you a real example. I worked with a consulting firm that was processing about 50 client intake forms per week. Each was about 8 to 10 pages. Someone had to manually read them every single time and pull out the relevant information like client name, project scopes, and things of that nature. And then enter all of that information inside their project management system, which would take about 30 minutes per form, and add that up over the course of a week. That's 25 hours of just data entry. So here's what we built. AI reads the document, extracts all the relevant fields automatically, and populates their system. The human still reviews for accuracy, but that's now a 5-minute check instead of a 30-minute manual deep dive. 25 hours per week down to about 4. Over 1,000 hours recovered per year just from one process. And this isn't unique to consulting firms. Almost every business has documents, right? The technology is proven and results are easy to measure. And that's why this is my #1 recommendation as a starting point. If you're thinking about this for your business, start by identifying the highest volume document type and what information you actually need from it. If you're extracting data, but then manually entering it into another system, you're leaving half the ROI on the table. So the extraction and the downstream integration need to be connected. Second process, and this is obvious for a reason, customer support. Your support team is answering the same 10 questions over and over all day, every day. And look, those questions need to be answered, but they're eating up massive amounts of team time that could be spent on the complex issues that actually drive the business forward. So what does that automation actually do here? It's not just a chatbot that says, "I'm sorry, I don't understand your question." What we built looks more like this. AI reads the incoming message, email, ticket, chat, whatever the channel is, and categorizes it by type and urgency. For common questions, it drafts or sends an actual helpful response based on your knowledge base, not a generic auto reply or complex issues. It escalates to a human with all the context already attached. No one's rereading 20 message email threads trying to figure out what's going on. The key here is that you're not replacing your support team. You're giving them back the hours they're currently spending on repetitive stuff so they can focus on the conversations that actually matter. If you want to start here, and this is important, don't try to automate everything at once. Start with triage and categorization. Just getting tickets sorted and routed to the right person automatically is a huge lift. Get that working, measure the impact, then layer an automated response. And then make sure there's always a clear escalation path. You don't want AI going rogue on your customers. The third one is finance and accounting. And I know this isn't the exciting pick. Nobody's making viral videos about automating accounts payable. But this is where automation quietly saves businesses a ton of money, because manual processes that are financial aren't just slow, they're expensive when errors happen. One wrong number in a reconciliation, one missed invoice, one late payment to a vendor, these things definitely compound. We're talking about the repetitive transactional work that buries finance teams every month. Invoice processing, reconciliation, reporting, the stuff that is essential but eats days during month-end close. Here's what this looks like automated. Invoices come in, AI extracts the key data, vendor amount, line items, due date, matches it against purchase orders, flags discrepancies, and routes for approval. Your finance team goes from manually processing every invoice to reviewing exceptions only. And beyond the speed, what you get is clean, audible records. AI catches anomalies and flags errors before they turn into problems. And if you've ever been involved in a month-end close, you know how much that's worth. If you want to start here, identify your most painful finance process, most businesses that accounts payable or reporting, and check what your existing accounting software already offers before building custom. A lot of platforms have automation features that nobody in the team actually turned on yet. Sometimes that's the quickest win by just quick configuring what you already have. So 3 processes, all proven, all high ROI. But which one do you start with? It comes down to 4 things. 1 is where your team is spending the most manual time right now, not where you think the problem is. What's the actual time going towards? 2, which process has the highest volume? More volume means more savings per automation. 3, where are errors most costly? If a mistake in one process costs you $50 and a mistake in another costs you $5,000, that changes the math completely. And 4, this one matters more than people think. Which one could deliver immediate, visible relief to your team? Because starting where your team actually feels the pain builds momentum. It builds buy-in, and that momentum is what carries you into automating the second and third process. Don't try to do all these 3 at once. Pick one, get the win, then expand. Quick recap, the 3 processes to automate first: document processing, customer support, and finance operations. These aren't trendy picks. These are the ones that consistently deliver real ROI across the businesses I work with. If you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, I know which one I start with, but I don't know how to scope it or build it, that's exactly what we do. I'm offering a free discovery call where we can look at your specific situation and figure out which is the first right move. No pitch, no pressure, just clarity. Links in the description. Drop your biggest time sink in the comments. I want to know which processes are eating your team's hours. And if you want to deep dive on any of these 3, tell me and I'll make it in the next video. See you in the next one.